So you guys keep sending them and I'll keep using them. So a subscriber reached out and asked if he could send me some of his hand-tied hair jig. And I said, sure. I've never fished a hair jig before. Typically, when I run into people throwing hair jigs, it's for smallmouth, especially up here in northern Illinois. It works pretty well. He also makes hand-tied silicone jigs, like football jigs, flipping jigs, in any color and any weight. You just gotta ask. I'll put his information in the description below. Definitely check him out. Definitely reach out to him, see what's going on, and try out some of his jigs. I think for being hand-tied, really just one guy doing this, they're phenomenal. They're made with fox and bucktail. But here, I'll show you one. But yeah, you can see they're hand-tied. I don't know if you can see. They're hand-tied hair jigs. And typically you fish these like you would any normal jig. You know, you kind of pop it, swim it through, you can jig it off the bottom. You can even put it on a bobber and kind of jig it that way. I don't have a bobber, the style that I need. It's not the slip bobber, it's gonna be the one, the old school round bobber, usually the red and white ones. But you can jig it that way. My first time throwing a hair jig was when he sent these to me, and I've already caught a couple fish on some of these, and they were fantastic. They look like little bait fish flickering through the water. So, you know, if you haven't tried a hair jig, try it out. He also, like I said, he also does silicone jigs. So if you want like a football jig or a flipping jig, just ask. But yeah, again, I'm gonna leave his information in the description below. Definitely check him out. Definitely send him some love. So yeah, I'm gonna try it out. Today I'm gonna be kind of on a mission. I've only brought 4 rods with me. I already have one here tied on. This is a white one, kind of a white, I'd say a ghost shad. And especially now up here north, you know, I think that's gonna get bit. So I have this on my medium light. Like I said, you should be throwing like hair jigs typically on spinning reels, especially with these light wire hooks. But I didn't bring my spinning rod set up. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I also have just a swim jig, see if, you know, maybe they're on a moving bite, but it is pretty cold today, so we'll see. I also have a deep diving jerkbait. This is a bait that is hand painted. I met a guy in Joliet and he gave me one of these, and these are awesome. Basically, I would say equivalent to a Megabass Vision 110 plus 1. Awesome. So yeah, jerkbait in the fall should work out pretty well. If nothing else, I have a finesse jig on here, just a ball head jig here, 90-degree line tie, with just a regular crawl trailer on the back. PB&J for jigs. I love PB&J for jigs. So those are the 4 setups that I'm gonna use. But like I said, I'm gonna focus a lot of my time and attention today on the hair jigs and see what we can get on that. So yeah. Sorry about the sun and everybody's face with my small camera, but let's see here. Yeah, typically with hair jigs, like I said, it's smallmouth. They're usually for smallmouth. So yeah, we'll see how it works out. But I don't know if you can see this. The water is pretty dingy today. I don't think you're gonna be able to see it. But yeah. They do. It does skitter around, kind of like the little bait fish that you kind of see every now and then that is skidding across the water. So you can jig it fast, you can jig it slow. It is a little cold today. I think I woke up today, it was 45. It's supposed to get up to maybe 70 degrees today. And then we'll have another pretty crazy warm front coming through, where it's going to get up to 80 tomorrow for the next couple days, and then it drops back down pretty drastically back down to there's one. Yeah, little small guy on a hair jig. Fantastic. That was quick. Thanks, bud. That was quick. What was I saying? Oh, the weather. So yeah, I'm hoping that I can maybe get on that prefrontal bite. Typically, a cold front is a little bit better than a warm front, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to go out later in this week with it being Halloween. But yeah, I'm just kind of working this thing. I'm jigging it kind of aggressively, I guess. It's pretty aggressive, but I'm letting it fall. I don't really want to hit the bottom because there's a lot of crap here and I don't want to lose it. But basically what I'm trying to mimic here is a bait fish trying to escape the shallow into deeper water, and I'm hoping they're maybe staged up and trying to catch the fish that are coming off of this ledge here. But yeah, that was quick. That was real quick. And yeah, with these light wire hooks, you don't even need to set the hook really. You just continue your jig up and it'll pin them. These hooks are really sharp. But yeah, the water again, we're maybe like, I'd say like 6 inches of visibility. So it's gonna be pretty hard to see what it looks like. If I find some clearer water, I'll try to show you. But again, when you jig it the way that I'm jigging it now, it does. It kind of looks like a fish that's kind of trying to flee, trying to skitter around a little bit. So we'll see. Yeah, I got that one kind of shallow, which was kind of shocking. I didn't think I'd catch it shallow, but yeah, the hair jig currently holds the record for the quickest fish. That was what, 2 casts in? Let's see if we turn around here. But I'm gonna do, yeah, it works. I mean, I'm gonna continue fishing this thing though. Like I said, I haven't, hair jigs, I don't throw them a whole lot. This is really the first time I have this season, and it's only been about, what, 2 weeks since I've started throwing these things. And when he reached out to me, he was telling me how to kind of fish these things. I was like, I've never fished. I've never fished. There's another one, small one. They're up shallow though. On a medium, but you can tell they're choking these things, man. It is not they're choking him. There we go. Thanks, bud. So that one I actually kind of let sink and let almost touch the bottom a little bit. That might have been another fish, I don't know. But yeah, up shallow a little bit. Kind of jigging it kind of quickly. Just kind of jigging it from the bottom and letting it kind of come off that ledge. Like I said, I think they're kind of staged up. And that air, and kind of staged up next to that. And again, it's been cold, so bass, they're not going to be, I don't know if I really want to throw anything that's going to be loud, aggressive in their face. It's they're not doing it. None of the bait fish are really doing it. They're kind of moving a little slow with the water being in the 60s. Kind of think of it this way: whenever you would throw like a swim jig or just a normal jig, pick up a hair jig. I always like to fish something new. I always like to fish whether it's new water, new baits. I think as fishermen we can get stuck in using the same combo, same 3 or 4 baits, so we have confidence in them, right? And we kind of lose sight of the fact that, like, hey, there's other baits out there, and especially in this late in the year, a lot of these bass, like I said, are gonna know and have seen every presentation. They've already seen all of our confidence baits. They've seen our jigs, our chatterbaits, our lipless, our crankbaits. And yeah, I mean, throw them deeper where they're at now. You might get them too, but as I'm trying to target these shallow fish, I kind of wanted something that's a little more subtle. Ooh, that was one. A little more subtle. I didn't really want like a chatterbait. Not because it won't work, but again, it's kind of one of those things that's like just trying something different. But with the shape of these heads, they're really going to cut through a lot of the weeds really well. It's kind of they got like sort of an angled head to them. So yeah, I think the biggest thing for hair jigs is you just got to get used to how fast this sinks. These things will sink pretty quickly. Here's one. There's a better one on a hair jig. Oh, it's all right. It might be on points as they're waiting for fish to come in here. I don't know. So we'll just, we'll try that again. I mean, that was, again, you don't really want to set the hook like you would like on a jig. So it's not going to work out for you very well. These hooks are really, with any hair jig, your hooks are going to be pretty light and you don't want to bend them out. And they're light enough where you can actually rip it through like the skin of the mouth of the bass that's biting it. So you don't want to do that either. So yeah, these fish could be shallow, especially with the sun coming out and it being so cold at night. Rocks, metal like this, might be the littlest fish I've ever caught. Rocks and metal like this definitely hold bass. But yeah, that's interesting. So I know they catch fish, so now let's see if we can catch a big one. With air jigs, you can even jig it right under your boat and just kind of jig it like you would a jig wrap for like walleye, because the hair on it and the water keeps it together, and again just kind of gives it that bait fish profile. And you can use larger hair jigs, right? I know people that do use larger hair jigs for larger fish, but it's okay. You know, we'll call it 3.5 fish, maybe 3.25. Lost that one, the first one, or lost that pretty decent one, and then that guy was super tiny. So if I had to venture a guess of what they're doing is they're kind of a little bit closer to points, especially now with the wind kind of picking up, you know, hopefully blowing some of the smaller fish like that tiny bass into areas for the larger fish to eat. But yeah, everything that I've caught so far has been pretty shallow, and that might kind of just be the pattern today. Is a little bit of a shallow feed, or a little bit of a shallow bite, a little bit of a subtle presentation. So the main thing for me is I just want to keep this as close to the bottom as I possibly can, but without, you know, obviously kind of dragging it like you would like a football jig. Not saying that I can't do that. I don't want to lose this. You know, I've never caught anything on this bank. Not once. But it's like, I don't know. It's a fisherman in me. I just gotta try it. It looks good. It's a point. It's wind blown. It's a structure. It's a drop off. Like, why wouldn't there be a fish here? But yeah, I've never caught a fish on this stretch of bank. There's one. There's a small one. Bluegill? Oh, it came off. Oh well. Must have been like a small bluegill or something. Oh, man. Small fish. Thanks, bud. I bet you know these probably work pretty well for like panfish, actually. Got him. Ow. I know, bub. All right, dude. Thanks, bud. So I could keep fishing there, which I might. decent one. Yeah, I love it on this medium light I have. It makes every fish feel like a 10-pounder. Pinned. You ain't going nowhere, bud. Thanks, bud. Let's see here. All right, see if you can see this. So what this looks like is kind of like a little bayfish kind of like swimming through. And so that's what they're keying in on. Has no rattle, makes no noise. Literally the only thing it does is mimic a bayfish. In a very subtle way. Oh no. Dang it. Was not ready for you, man. Was not ready. Thanks, bud. So, they still bite it on one claw. That's good to know. I've always wondered, like, does it really matter if you have both claws on your craw? Because I've seen craws that only have one claw. So I'm switching to a bottom bait because it is later in the afternoon. I have a feeling that they're not really probably on a moving bite, because everything I've caught so far is just like basically just letting it marinate on the bottom and they're coming by and picking it up. All the fish that I've caught too have had red lips, and red lips mean that they're usually going after craw, eating off the ground, versus like when their lips are not red, right? When they're normal, just means that they're going after bait fish, so they're not having to, go down and, get a craw or creature off the bottom and picking up a bunch of rocks, and that's what gives them that red lip, the red mouth. So I'm just doing the same thing, right? I'm just throwing a bottom balancing bait and just kind of letting it marinate a little bit. Again, nothing too flashy, nothing too crazy, just, it's a Ned rig. There we go. Ooh. Thanks, bud. I'm also trying to work on not swinging for the fences when I set the hook. And that one, you just see, I just basically just leaned into it and hooked him just fine. And that's kind of what I like about these VMC hooks, right? Is they're very sharp, they're very good, very stout hooks. For as thin wire as they are, they hold up pretty well. Ooh. Did not have good thumb control on that one. So yeah, I think a slower bait might work a little better. The hair jig is good, it works, but I don't think it's the key for right now. I think if I'm going to catch anything, it's going to be on jigs, finesse jigs. Starting to warm up a little bit. I might take off my coat here. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't think it's going to get any warmer than this, to be honest with you. So again, looking at these like drop-offs and these cliffs, like so, this drops off. I'm in 18 feet. I'm probably what, 20 yards from the bank. Let's just sit for a little bit. There we go. Finally got him. I finally got him. I just had to sit. I just had to sit. Choked it. Thanks, bud. I don't know if that was the one, but a better one. Well, going after craws right now. Thanks, bud. All right, so like I said, the subscriber that sent me jigs, the hand-tied hair jigs, also does football jigs, silicone jigs. So yeah, let's try one out. Let's try that. And let's put on a little bit more of a put on a Z-Man, just because I know that they'll hold up a little bit better than the Vegan Squad stuff. So it's going to come out right on that third one down. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to take this thing off. It's getting hot. Go. Let's trim up this weed guard a little bit. I like to go horizontal. Just there we go. There we go. All right. So now with the football jig, I did not. Well, it's okay. Kind of just let it sink to the bottom. And then drag it. Kind of like I was doing with the Nilkio rig. It's a good color combination though. Oh. Alright. I think that was a bluegill. Really gotta push these things up. Alright, let's take this Sweater off. Gloves, because it is a little cold still. I forgot I had these in my pocket. I don't wear gloves a lot, but when I do, man, there's nothing like the feel of a good glove. Oh, this is good. A little cliff. Thanks, bud. Oh, got him. Oh, that was fun. Nice, thanks, bud. So those football jigs work. And again, you know, those are same guy that makes the hand-tied jigs, man. He does silicone if you want it. So if you're not into hair jigs, ask him for just a normal jig. You know, support local supports you know, small business. They're local. If you're in Illinois, they are local to Illinois too. Okay, so football jig. Check. Checkity check, check, check with the football jigs. Yeah, man. I'm really impressed with these. I'm really impressed with these jigs. Not only the quality of the hand tie, but yeah, I mean, they catch fish. Oh God, there was a fish. Oh. Well, there goes that. Oh, man. Oh, that stinks. That stinks so hard. Well, there goes that football jig. Man, that was a good bite too. Holy crap. Might have been either a turtle or a catfish, because that was ridiculous. Thanks, bud. Sit down. Whee! Whee! Oh. So yeah, the bite's kind of switched from a moving bait bite to, you know, really slowing down. Nice. That's a nice one. Thanks, bud. That was a good one. I don't know if they're gonna be right here or what, but I'm gonna fish this a little bit. It is, with all these rocks, it is gonna hold heat better. Come on now. There you go. Thanks, bud. Thanks, bud. Oh, we're still here on the... Thanks, bud. Thanks, bud. I still want to catch a jerkbait fish, because I think there's a jerkbait fish. Thanks, bud. Got a jerkbait fish. So I'm gonna keep going with the jerkbait for a little bit. It's like that last fish was it for me. Pretty good day, actually. Got quite a few on the hair jig, caught a few on the silicone hand-tied jigs that the same guy does. Even caught some on a jerkbait. So it was a good day, you know, to come out here and fish. So definitely give that guy a look. Like I said, I'm gonna put his information below. I'd love to get this guy a good client base. Hand-tied, local here to Illinois. I couldn't be happier with them. I think they're great. So take a look if you want, get a couple. It is starting to get a little cold. You know, the water's still sitting around 60 degrees. Temperatures though are dipping down. I know at night they're getting down into the 30s. Tomorrow we're gonna get into the 80s and then 75 the next day, and then it drops back down. I think it's going back down to the 60s. So, you know, we got a couple more days for that fall feed, a couple more days for, you know, good fishable weather before it starts to turn, and you're gonna have to really start slowing down, you know, dragging the bottom, looking for those deep structure humps, you know, and targeting the fish that are deep. So, yeah, appreciate y'all watching, and like always, you know, just get out there and fish. Tight lines, y'all.